Hello and welcome to CSM Today's U.S. Veteran Special. I'm your host, Melissa Braun, and tonight I'll be joined by a veteran of the United States military. Welcome back to CSM Today. I'm here with Alfonzo Thomas, a veteran of the United States military. Thanks for being here today.
Alrighty.
Great. Would you mind telling us how you got involved with the military?
So back in, I believe it was like 1997, I used to work at the United States Naval Academy. At the time, I was a junior in college, and I was studying electronic engineering technology. So I worked down at the Naval Academy for a few years, and I decided that I wanted to go the officer route in the United States Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
So I enlisted, what was it, like 2000, I believe. It was like, I think the winter of 2000, January 2000, just to give a good estimate. But so I trained, did pull-ups, did all the hard, rigorous training under like SEAL type training, because I used to go to this school. It was in Severna Park, Maryland, and did that for like 4 or 5 months. So I was all in top shape and everything. And so signed up, went to the officer candidate school recruiter, and I went to OCS down in Quantico, Virginia, and I got halfway through the course, and I dropped out because of sleep deprivation.
Oh no!
So I was, of course, physically good to go, but I wasn't prepared. Wasn't prepared as far as how to manage my time as far as studying, because you're always tired and whatnot. So from there, I went back home to my hometown, Annapolis, and I was like, I still want to try to pursue this officer route, but I want to start from the enlisted side and see it work my way up. Because if I didn't like the job field that I choose, I was gonna take the experience and get out. So that same year in 2000, it was the summer of 2000, I went to the Air Force recruiter in Annapolis, which was actually my cousin, Dane L. Thomas. And I was like, Dane, hey, I wanna go the enlisted route. I want to get into a field that, if I don't like what I see in the Air Force and unable to pursue the officer route, I want to take that experience and run with it as a civilian. So we was going through all the types of different jobs, and I passed the ASVAB, and I passed it, and then I was able to pick whatever job field I want. So I was like, all right, I want to do something with aircraft. So with my background already having a Bachelor of Science in Electronic Engineering Technology, I was like, let's do something with avionics. And as a kid, I always liked the F-15 Strike Eagle. So I was like, okay, let's explore flight controls. So I signed up to become what they call a B shopper, avionics flight control apprentice. So I could, after I enlist, they could either assign me to a base where we work on the A-10, F-15, or U-2. So signed up, went through basic training in Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas, and from there went to Shepherd Air Force Base was my tech school, and from there got stationed in Las Vegas. So at Las Vegas, Nellis Air Force Base, I worked on the F-15 Strike Eagle E model. That was one of my favorite jets. It was like a air-to-ground support 2-seater aircraft. Cool. And so basically my job was just to maintain these boxes called LRUs, basically line replaceable units. That's what they stand for.
Okay.
And so if a plane goes, like the pilot, he comes back and he reports like something's wrong with his different flight controls. My job was to basically talk to the pilot, hey, sir, what's going on? Hydraulic failure, or my rudders were bad, and my job was to basically go out there, hook up a test box, see what the faults are. It could be either replace wiring or just simply swap out the particular boxes. on that note, they always call the avionics guys cone heads or and box swappers. So I did that. Oh, actually, let me backtrack. My first when I got stationed at Nellis, my first day of work was, believe it or not, September 11th.
Oh,
so the day
no.
prior to going to Nellis, was driving in, and the guys at the guards at the gate was like, waving people in. They no ID check or anything like that, no barriers and whatnot. So I got to the dorm and checked in and everything, and checked in with my squadron. Went to sleep, woke up the next morning, drove to work, and walked in the office, and I was like, why are there no planes flying? Why is everybody scrambling around the squadron and whatnot? So I went into this conference room, and I just looked at the TV screen. You see the plane, boom, and I was like, well, we're not working today, so everybody just sat down and sat down in the conference room that whole day. That was my first day in the active Air Force, so to speak.
Wow.
So stayed at Nellis until December 2002. So I got orders to Okinawa, Japan.
Ooh.
Air Force base called Kadena, or we Americans say Kadena, but it's actually pronounced Kadena. So I was there for like about 3 years, and I basically worked on some older 1978 F-15 Strike Eagles. They were, what were they? C models and D models. C models are the single-seater aircraft, and the D models is a two-seater, but they were mainly like training type of aircraft.
All right.
So I worked on those old aircrafts for like 3 years, and they were a pain in the butt to repair. So throughout that whole time there, I was stressed out from long hours. Had to work 12-hour days. Sometimes, I think it's like every 2 months, had to do exercise. Had to wear the chem gear and the tropical hot weather. They had the sirens going off, and you had to, it's like mop 4. Mop 4 is like gas, like a chemical attack. So I had to, stop what you're doing, put your gas mask on. You had to do that real quick, go lay in the bunker, and just try not to fall asleep, because people, you get caught falling asleep, like sitting in the bunker. The QA, quality assurance inspector, come around and see you, you get in some big trouble. So you didn't do that. So on my off time to relieve stress, I picked up, I DJ'd. So in town, like on Saturdays, I DJ'd at a bar. Did that throughout almost my whole time in Japan, just to relieve stress. And then, again, that 3 years, I had a great time in Japan, but sad to say, I didn't like the squadron I was at. It was just, like, get me out of here. So I was given the option from there, if I wanted to stay in Japan, to, go to or if I wanted to re-enlist, I had to go get stationed up in Osan, Korea, and go up there for 1 year, or get stationed in Beale Air Force Base, which is in Northern California. It's outside of a town called Marysville / Yuba City. So I just like, I'm gonna go back stateside, because I always wanted to live in California all my life and everything. So from there, I decided to just do my last year at Beale Air Force Base, and I got the opportunity to work on a U-2 spy plane. So that aircraft is a very unique, and it's an easier to maintain aircraft than the F-15, because that airplane doesn't take too many G's other than when it takes off, which basically when it takes off, basically my job, at times I got assigned to ride in, actually there's like 2 training wheels, they call them training wheels on the, or pogo sticks on the wings, because the wings are like so big, and they like flex and whatnot.
All right.
And so as soon as that aircraft took off, the pogo sticks just like drop off. So the truck that I rode in, they used to go out there and hurry up and pick them up and whatnot. So that was the only time when it either took off or it came back down, that it took like high G's. So that was one of the reasons why it was an easier aircraft to maintain, because like again, loads of G forces causes things to rattle. Exactly. So I had a decent time working on that aircraft. There's a lot of secret stuff on that plane I can't tell you all about. And
not anything?
No. I mean, it was like one of the things, like when it landed, it was funny to see this because, of course, it flew so high in the air, very high altitude and whatnot. It's funny, you can see like frost all on the wings and everything. And so sometimes when the plane land, I rode out in that one truck, and you had the plane, sometimes the pilot doesn't transfer fuel to the wings properly, and sometimes it has, when after it lands, you'll see it like just like tilt to like one side because the fuel is all on one side of the aircraft. So you had to run out there, or I had to run out there, jump up, pull the wing down like this. So the other guy on the other side had to put the training wheel, the pogo stick. But at the same time, sometimes, again, going back to, seeing the planes like, ice on the wings, sometimes it was hard to put the pogo sticks up there. So you sit there going like this.
Because they just like froze in place? Oh, wow.
Yeah, because the hole is like frozen over, so you sit there fighting the thing. And then, so the plane taxis back and whatnot, and pilot tells you discrepancies. Chances are, as far as flight controls, there's rarely was any flight control discrepancies for the U-2. And yeah, that whole time, I had a great time working on that aircraft. And there was a time I got assigned to what they call phase dock. It's basically phases where they completely gut the whole plane down and just basically inspect every little nook and cranny, different parts, and check the parts that that's known to easily break. So I did that for like about, I think it's like 4 or 5 months, and that was pretty much it. And that whole time when I was out in Beale, again, that was like my last year in the service, so I couldn't deploy anywhere or anything like that. And I was trying to hunt for a job out in California dealing with electronics, and I couldn't really find one, so I decided to come back east to Maryland. And I was given the opportunity to join the reserves, but I declined. I was like, I was gonna get out and whatnot.
Well, that's really great. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll be right back with more from Alfonzo Thomas right after this.
Welcome home, man.
Welcome back to CSM Today. I'm here again with Alfonzo Thomas. So last time we talked a little bit about your experience inside of the service. I was wondering if you wouldn't mind telling me like how long you've been here at CSM?
Okay, so I've been at CSM for a year now. And When I decided to take the DMP or trying to sign up for the DMP program, I was like, all right, let's see. All right, CSM, let's see how if as far as treating veterans and see how smooth the process will be. So I emailed. I can't remember the particular staff member for the veteran that represent the veterans, and registered for classes. Everything went so smoothly, and I had, as far as like answering my questions, they got back to me, very promptly and everything. And every semester since I've been here, as far as registration it's easy. I mean, they just tell you, hey, sign up early, because the process as far as getting the funds and everything takes a bit of time to go through the VA and whatnot. So yeah, I've had no bad experience with them so far. And they done a wonderful job. And as far as like veterans resources, they have the Veterans Lounge here, and it's down at the I believe the basement of the library. And they have typical like resources as far as computers. You want to go down there and do your little word processing or anything to basically get stuff done. You can easily go down there, hang out, and just get away from any type of hoopla, chaos, or wherever it's on campus. Just escape and go down to the basement, go down to the Veterans Lounge. Like, all right. And I've been down there like once or twice, and it's just, again, it's very calm, and had a little chessboard on the center table. And I believe they just got a fat screen monitor or TV monitor in there and everything. And
nice.
Just
very fancy.
nice, cozy lounge.
Are there any other benefits that CSM has provided for you for being a veteran here?
Not that I can think of. I mean, overall, I was just looking for the resources as far as being able to. I have no problems in asking somebody for help. They're like quick, like just like that, as far as getting the information that I need. And it was like, hey, if you have any problems with benefits, I know where to go to, and I'm sure they'll get right on it, like lickety split. So,
great. If someone, a veteran, was coming up and you say like, hey, should I come to CSM? Would you recommend it to them? You think?
Yes, most definitely. Just don't hesitate to, take advantage. I always tell people, take advantage, or veterans, take advantage of all the benefits that's offered out there. Because once it's gone, it's gone. So, and again, they have a friendly staff, veterans, and they're more than happy to help out and everything. So,
thank you so much for joining us today. Tune in next time for another edition of CSM Today.